2020 has been a struggle for everyone, and on Saturday the 7th of November, I decided I wanted to end the year in the best possible way by running a marathon to raise money and awareness for Mind Mental Health charity with only 7.5 weeks of training.
Why are you doing a documentary, Jack?
Well, first of all, to be able to show that at age 16, in this amount of time, I did this. I ran 26.2 miles to raise money and awareness for Mind Mental Health charity, and also mainly for in the future, 5-10 years down the line, so I can look back and say I did this, and look back at it and watch it and just admire how well I've done and everything that went well, everything that went wrong. But this year I wanted to do something that was more relatable, so it could keep me motivated, and I chose a charity. I wanted to do it for a charity because I wanted to keep me motivated and give me the drive to do the workouts I need to do. And with now in the 7th week of training out of 7.5, I haven't missed a workout, so that's really good. I wanted to do mine because it's a mental health charity. It's one of the best mental health charities, and it's really close to people's hearts, I feel, this year. Especially I know family members and friends who've had a lot of mental health struggles, especially during lockdown. So mine was a really good choice for me, I thought. I was making a running log of all the mileage I've done in my lifetime, and I was looking at this year, and I was only really a 5k runner. I'd done a few 10ks and a few bits on the track as well a couple of years ago, but that's about it. So I was looking at, there was just a big gap between 5k and all the other distances between marathon and 5k. So there's obviously 10 miles, 10k, half marathon and marathon. And I wanted to do a marathon before the end of the year just to kind of cap off the year, but it was nothing more than just an idea. And then one day I just thought about it and decided that I was going to do it. But there wasn't much time left in the year, so that's why I decided to do it as late as I could possibly in the year on New Year's Eve, so that I can do it in 2020, and then start the 2021 in the best way possible.
Probably 2016-ish, wasn't it? I was going to London quite a lot, so I had quite a lot of free time on my hands, so I was going to hotels and things, so in the evening I'd go to the gym and just start running on the treadmills. And then I noticed that there was some runs in the Queen Elizabeth Park where you could run and like just get a medal, just 5k. That was far enough for me, so yeah, started doing that. So 2016, probably did it for 2 or 3 years. Haven't done it for a while, to be fair. I need to get back into it.
So I started running because when Dad kept coming home from London with all these medals, I thought that was just so inspiring to me. Even though these medals, you got them, little did I know you got them for finishing the race, whether you won or came last. But yeah, just seeing my dad come home with all these medals, every single time he went, he'd probably have a different medal, and the medals would just be pretty cool to me. And yeah, I just kind of got a lot of inspiration from that and just wanted to be like him.
Well, initially I thought that Jack would be doing it in 2021 or the year after, because he's never run a marathon before and he would need to do a lot of training. However, Jack said that he wanted to do it on New Year's Eve this year, so he worked out that that's only 7 weeks of training, so a really big challenge. So I did wonder how Jack would be able to do this in this time, especially as at the end of October it already started being dark and cold.
Yeah, first thoughts on that. Well, yeah, it's a long way in a very short time to train, but yeah, you've always been pretty determined, so yeah, good. Just pleased you were going to give it a go, to be honest. Didn't really matter if you did it or not, it was just about having a go, really. So for me, yeah, good on you for having a go and raising the money.
I didn't think you'd be able to do it. I thought it would be a big jump from your usual 5k distance to a 26-mile run, and I thought you were biting off more than you could chew, to be honest.
I thought that it was a challenge. It was a massive challenge for you, especially with everything that's gone on this year with everyone. I thought this is just a brilliant way to end it, and we have our ups and downs, but I think a marathon, it's a struggle. Every single step that you take will be one step closer, but also one step in more pain. And I definitely believe that you can achieve it. At first, I didn't. With 8 weeks, it's definitely something that it's not long. It's not long at all. So for someone who, has that time limit, it's very difficult. But you have the determination to accomplish that, and I think you're going to smash it.
When Jack first told us about his Marathon for Mind, we were a bit apprehensive because we thought it's quite an ambitious goal, but we knew deep down Jack had it in him.
My first thought of Jack doing a marathon was proud, because it doesn't matter if he completes it, but at least he had the thought of doing that, because not many 16-year-olds think or put in the training to do a marathon. So yeah, I was proud of him for thinking about and putting in the hard work to do a marathon.
Very apprehensive about all the training that would be involved.
Yeah, initially I thought that it was something that could be too exhausting, but knowing Jack, he's always been very, very determined in everything that he says, and I do believe that he would plan his training regime to enable him to achieve his goals.
When Jack first told me about him attempting to run the marathon, I thought, wow, that's a big challenge to set yourself. I thought there's no way you're going to be able to do that. But I think that was purely a reflection of what I thought my ability was, and when I thought about it, I thought, no. Jack is one of those people, I haven't known him long, but he's one of those people, when he sets himself a challenge and a goal, he will do whatever it takes to achieve that goal. And he just puts 110% into everything he does, whether that be training for his 5Ks, for the marathon, and even school. He just works so hard for everything, and I really envy that motivation that he has. And I just knew that he was just going to be able to do it. And I think a lot of people were like, no way is he going to be able to do that. And I was like that to start with, but when he went through his training and he showed me his plan for his training, I thought, that's so much to fit into 7.5 weeks. That's just not possible. As well as long school days and everything else. But he really did prove us all wrong, and just really showed that you can do so much more than what others think of you, and of what you think you can do yourself. Because I think he probably even questioned sometimes, can I do this? But he just showed to everyone that you can. And it was for such a good cause as well, that I just think he should be really, really proud of himself.
Your first reaction when Jack told you about the marathon? Well, Jack told me in about late October that he was going to do it before the new year. So that was obviously about 2 months before, and usually you need about 16 weeks training for a marathon. And he wanted to do it in 2 months, which is obviously under half of 16 weeks. So when he first told me, to be honest, a lot of people doubted him, and I did doubt him at first, but once he started the training and planned it all out, there was no stopping him. He was determined to do it, and yeah, well, he's gonna do it, I can tell you that now.
When Jack first told me that he was doing the marathon, I must admit I was quite shocked, especially in a time that he'd had to do it. And I know before, I think he'd only done like a few 10Ks, and I thought this is a bit of a step up. But yeah, so initially I was very shocked. I never necessarily doubted you. I always knew that you'd be able to do it. But initially I definitely thought this is a lot.
Yeah, the first few people I told, the first time I told them, everyone said, it's not possible, just do a half, just do a 10K, wait until the new year to do the marathon. Don't do the marathon because it's too far for someone your age. Wait a little bit longer until you're older to do the marathon. I just wanted to prove to myself more than anything that anything you set your mind to is possible, and you can do anything that you want to, and just to be able to give myself the confidence that I've done this in this amount of time at this age. And people say that when you run a marathon, it's like a new lease of life. So that I'm looking forward to that. You've given your all into something for that amount of time, and you can't get any better at that time. I saw a man on Instagram who's been running every single day since May 2017. I've been following him for the past few years, and he was doing a workout with a guy called Dom Levesque, and I followed Dom and like clicked on his page and saw what he was about, and he was raising money and awareness for mental health for veterans and suicide prevention by doing a marathon, New York City Marathon bear crawl, which is on all fours the whole way. I watched him do it, I watched some of his training, and I watched the actual event. He live streamed it on Instagram. I just was watching that and thinking, this is so inspiring, and this really proves that there just are no limits, because that's the first time that's ever been done. And I'm guessing my situation, there aren't many 16-year-olds who've run a marathon in 7.5 weeks training either, so that's probably one of the first time that's ever been done as well. Percent rule, which is a rule that may or may not be factually true, but in your mind, when you get to a certain point and you think, this is it, I'm done, time out, throw in the towel, you're actually only 40% of your capability. So you have another 60% in reserve that you can tap into if your mind is strong enough. And I believe that's just such a good, strong, powerful message, especially for this marathon, for the training, and just for life really in general. It's just such a good message.
Put your mind to it. I didn't think I could ever do this. I tried it, and I just trained every day, every single day, and just constantly broke my body down and built it back up. And then most of all, I had some motivators. My father, FitOps Foundation. It just made the perfect recipe to bring awareness to a foundation that supports veterans and gives them purpose again through fitness. And if you guys can, please donate. These veterans survive war, but they come home and they don't survive home. And they go through some pretty gruesome things. So I wish you guys could just check out the organization and support if you guys can. But thank you so much.
Very, very proud. Jack raised a lot of money for lymphoma in the past, and I was pleased that he chose this particular charity of mine, because so many people, especially this year with the COVID, are getting depressed, and it's a charity that would help a lot of people that otherwise would slip through.
Yeah, I agree entirely with what's just been said, and I think it's a very worthwhile charity, and I hope that in the end Jack's contribution will be of some great help towards it. But at the end of the day, it is a very good, worthwhile charity, one that definitely do need financial help and assistance in this day and age, and hopefully it will be of some great use toward them.
So at some point we're going to hit the wall and the body is going to say we can't go on anymore. We're going to be struggling to carry on. Everything in my mind is going to be telling me stop, call it a day, throw in the towel and just stop. But this is when I think the mind comes into it again, and that's why wearing the t-shirt will give me a lot of energy and an energy boost, I feel, because the t-shirt represents the charity that I've been fighting for, and it is a cause worth fighting for, and that's why I'm doing this whole thing, and just to raise awareness for mental health, and just to raise money for it at the same time. And when we hit the wall, I know it's inevitable, but I have a huge heart and a lot of grit, and I know that all my hard work I've put in, the 200-ish miles I've put in over this 7.5 week training plan will pay off, and all the training I've been doing, the core work, the nutrition plan I've had, the ice baths, the cold showers, all this stuff is good to mentally prepare myself and give me the mental capacity to be able to push through the wall and break through it, and that's what we're going to see. So my plan is when we hit the wall, we're going to go straight through it. We're going to steamroller it. We're going to go all the way through it and not look back. And that's because of my heart is huge. I work so hard, and I have worked so hard for this, and there's going to be no other way to fight the wall other than absolutely smashing it and going straight through it, and that's what we're going to do.
So to describe Jack, I would say, first off, he's a very loyal person. He's been like one of my best friends since like year 7, and always been very supportive, always had my back no matter what, and so yeah, he's a very loyal friend. He's very disciplined, and I admire him a lot for that. He's very, with his diet especially, he writes down every calorie he takes, every calorie he burns. You know, he's very organised, very disciplined with what he eats, how much sleep he gets. He's always in bed by like 8. I send him a message at 10, he won't reply until the next morning. Very organised with his sleep, very disciplined with what he eats, and I admire him a lot for that, because I was an athlete a couple of months ago, and I struggled with my diet, like having the motivation to stay away from the unhealthy foods. He's a very determined person. He said he was going to do something, and people doubted him. I doubted him. His parents doubted him. Teachers and coaches doubted him. Told him it was impossible. There's no point doing it. And but he blocked it all out, and he believed in himself, and it's now. You know, he's going to do it. He believes he's going to do it. It's 26 miles, and he's going to prove everyone wrong, I think. Yeah, and he's going to push himself. He does push himself very hard, and he's a very hard worker, so I think he's definitely going to be able to achieve it.
I think determined is definitely one. You don't quit, which is it's a big thing, and I'm proud of you for not doing that, because you know there's a lot of scenarios where it could have just been easy for you to quit, but you decided to keep pushing, and I don't understand how you do it, but somehow you always push through. Another word would be unstoppable. I feel like, you know, if you set yourself to do something, no matter how many people can say, yeah, that's not going to happen, you will do it. You'll prove everyone wrong, and you've done it every single time. And the final word being humble. I think you're a very humble being.
If I had to describe Jack in 3 words, the first one would definitely be determined, which I think he's definitely shown through his training, and the fact that he actually ran 26 miles. 26.2, 26, I don't know, same thing. I think we can all see that from the marathon. Secondly, I definitely go with kind. You're so kind to everybody, and so sweet. And thirdly, 100% genuine. You're one of the most genuine boys that I've ever met.
If I could describe Jack in 3 words, the first one would be extremely, extremely strong-minded, the mental capacity that he has to overcome his challenges and struggles is really incredible. The second one would be ambitious, because his targets and goals he likes to set himself are very ambitious and he doesn't back down from them. And the third / fourth is motivated and determined. All throughout his training there wasn't one day where I thought he's losing motivation. He kept with it and just didn't give up, and I'm really envious of those qualities in Jack.
To describe Jack in 3 words, I would say he is funny, because like if you're upset he can make you laugh, and yeah. He's caring, cares about everything really, cares about people around him, cares about like schoolwork, his grades, and he's also supportive, because yeah, he'll support you even if he doesn't like agree with something you're doing, he'll still support you.
Okay. 3 words to describe Jack. First 2 would definitely be motivated and determined. When Jack has a goal, he always completes it. Even when the goal is very crazy, in the eyes of most of us, we would never set ourselves a goal that he sets himself. But he doesn't find it crazy at all, and he keeps going until he completes the goal. So that shows how determined he is, and shown by the marathon. Like, his goal is to do it before the new year, and as it stands he's gonna do it before the new year, so that's really good from him. And outside of running as well, when he wants something to happen, like schoolwork for example, he's determined to be best in the class, like get good grades, and it's like a really great trait to have. And my third word would be caring. He is very caring, to me especially, and to all of his other friends. Like, he's someone I can tell anything and everything, like, and he'll help me through it. Even when he's going through his own problems himself, like, he'll always be there to support me. And then showing through the marathon as well, he's putting himself through pain to benefit other people by gaining money to donate to Mind, which is obviously a mental health charity. So that is very caring of him. So yeah, determined, motivated and caring are my 3 words.
First word, probably determined. Been very impressed the last sort of couple of years with the amount of work and effort Jack puts into, you know, studies, sport especially. You know, he's just very, very determined, committed to getting better at things. So yeah, determined is one, I guess. Yeah, committed probably is the other, and sporty is the other one, I guess.
We have chosen 3 words we think best describe Jack, and the first word is determined, because we just feel like throughout this journey Jack has constantly put up with all these aches and pains, and he's never let what anyone has said to him get to him. He's always tried and pushed through everything, and he really deserves the time.
I also think another word that describes Jack really well is independent, because he's done this off his own back and he hasn't asked for any help along the way, and it's all come from himself.
So the third and final word that we have chosen to best describes Jack is inspirational. Inspirational!
He is fantastic because he is very thoughtful and sensitive to other people's needs all of the time. He is generous, for example, by wanting to do this marathon to raise money for the Mind charity. he put in a lot of thought about that and wondered which charity would be able to benefit financially from him being able to be sponsored to do a marathon. He has for years been able to fundraise for the lymphoma charity, and also did a run a couple of years ago where he managed to raise a lot of money for that charity, and so he wanted to be able to fundraise for a different charity this year. He is also very, very lovely, which I would say as I am his mum, but from the moment he was born he has been a shining star, and he brings me lots and lots of warm, lovely feeling because he is such a lovely young person.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who I need to thank, but especially my parents, just for doing everything that you can possibly to help me with this journey, and I really appreciate it. So thank you for everything you do for me. So I've been very fortunate to have such a strong group of people around me to help me on this journey, and without them I don't think it would have been possible. So first and foremost I want to thank my family, my mum, for always washing my clothes, my running clothes, making me great nutritious meals, buying things I've asked her to buy to cook, just to try and give myself as many possible advantages as we can, for driving me to and from running club on Wednesday and Monday nights, sometimes 2 times a week, sometimes in the rain, sometimes in the sleet, different things like that. And then afterwards coming home, I remember the other day I came home after it was absolutely tipping it down and just piled on the washing, and she did it without complaint, and that's why my mum is such a legend and always will be. I'd like to thank my dad for again for helping with cooking great meals, nutritious meals that we've had, for driving me to and from running club again in all weather conditions, for supporting me on some of my runs on his bike, and just being there to support me, and just both of them for being my support crew really throughout this whole thing. I'd like to thank my sister for allowing me, unwillingly sometimes, to borrow her iPad to edit this whole thing and make this whole thing possible, really, this whole documentary. I'd like to thank Grandma and Grandad for first and foremost buying me the massage gun and allowing me to have it before Christmas, because that was really helpful throughout the whole of training to solve any muscle problems I had, any muscular issues and different things like that, but also mainly for coming on the actual thing and watching, spectating and cheering me on, because without you being there it would have been a whole lot more difficult, and also for getting the footage of me running and different things like that, because a lot of that has been really useful to use not only in this but also in future references as well, but mainly for just coming along in the current situation and for watching and spectating and supporting me, because I remember saying to my friends, we've got another crew stop coming up, and it would just give me a new energy seeing you two in the distance, and give me a small target throughout the whole of the long journey of the marathon, and that really helped with my mental game, because without having the little pit stops where you were watching me to look forward to, it would have been a whole lot more difficult, I feel. So I really appreciate everything you did for me throughout training and everything you have done for me as well. I'd like to thank Matt for coming on most of the bike rides with me and giving me support, always helping me out. Everything that he's done for me, I really appreciate it, and that goes for all my mates. I'd like to thank Harvey for coming on lots of bike rides with me and for biking the whole of the actual thing with me. I know you were struggling a bit towards the end there, mate, but thank you for hanging in there, because it proved to me that if you can hang in there, so can I. And you've been a great support to me, not only in this running and marathon training, but also in the last couple of years when we've been really close. So I really appreciate everything you've done for me, mate, and thank you for hanging in there on the bike ride to the very bitter end like I did. I'd like to thank Tom for coming on a bike ride with me during training with very little notice, and also for coming on a bike ride with me for the actual thing, for biking a substantial amount of miles with me for the actual thing. It was a really refreshing change to have a new face there to support me. So thank you very much, mate, for that, and I really appreciate you coming on the bike rides with me to give me the support that I needed in that time. I'd like to thank Ben for always giving me support, always giving me like a shoulder if I need support, and for showing me his work ethic, because I feel like without seeing him hard at work and the abilities of what can happen when you put in hard work, I doubt I would have been as motivated to do this. So Ben has been a great help throughout this whole thing as well. Super inspiring with everything you do, mate, and yeah, just a real help to always have you to support me and things like that. I'd like to thank Ted for coming on the actual thing and taking photos of me, but predominantly for asking and speaking to his mum about getting me a newspaper article in the EDP that she writes for. I feel like without you doing that, I wouldn't have had as many donations. I know I wouldn't have, because it's just today, when the newspaper article's gone live online, I've had 3 or 4 donations from different people who have seen it in the newspaper. So I am hugely grateful for Ted and his mum for doing that for me. So thank you very much, mate, and thank you to your mum as well. It's really cool to be able to see myself in the newspaper, and for my family and friends to be able to read the newspaper and see me in it. That's been a goal from the start, so thank you very much for that. Thank you as well to everyone on my Snapchat story who's supported me at some point in whatever way you have. I'll give a brief list of names now, but there's a lot of you who I'd like to thank. Charlie Taylor, Molly Rudd, Matt Hayes, Flory, Daisy, Serena, Nick, Jess, Ben, Harvey, Tom PC, Katie, Eden Harrison, Oscar Albro, Libby Dean, Jacob Hallett, Ted Cross, Sean, Connor, Sam, Maya, Alfie, Chris and Nick. Thank you all so much for all the support on my story and everything you've done to help me, because it's made it a lot easier knowing I have you guys behind me. As well, I'd like to thank every single person who's donated, no matter how big or small. Every single donation has helped towards the cause, and as of today, on the 4th of January, 4 days after completing the marathon, we've just hit £1,140 in donations, which is unbelievable. I remember saying the goal at £300 based on last year's achievement of £210 for Lymphoma Action Cancer Charity, and I was happy with that. I still am very impressed with that, and so to see how much I've earned and raised this year for this incredible charity again, it's unbelievable, and it just goes to show how strong the support I've had has been. So yeah, I really appreciate every single person who's sponsored me, and the top donations will get recognition. So I would just like to say a special thank you for the top 3 donations. So in third place with £42 is Ian Speller. I really appreciate the donation and the story about how Attleborough used to have a charity event. In second place is Uncle Patrick with a £50 donation. Thank you very much, Uncle Patrick, for that great contribution, and I really appreciate it because it's helped a lot. And in first place with a incredible £130 donation is my dad, and I really appreciate everything that my dad has done for me throughout this whole training camp. He couldn't have been any more supportive, so I really appreciate it. And the reason this is such a huge part of my life now, this training, is because running for me helped me stay positive when things were tough. When things were really difficult last year for me, I was having the worst state of my life mentally probably in the beginning of last year, because of reasons that weren't really in my control, but it was probably one of the darkest moments. I didn't have many people to speak to, and I remember that being one of the scariest things. It says in the Mind booklet, 1 in 4 people will suffer with a mental health problem at some point in their lifetime, and that 25% of the whole world is going through a different mental health problem, no matter what it is, depression, anxiety, or anything else. Everyone deserves to be able to reach out to people and have the support that they need. And if they can't find the support that they need, they go to Mind. And everyone deserves to know that Mind is there to help, because Mind is there to help. Personally, for me, in my opinion, being in good physical shape gives me so much mental benefit and boost, and I feel so much happier and more confident in my own body when I'm in good physical shape.
I was very worried when he told me that he was feeling very depressed, and wondered how long he'd been feeling like that. So we had a nice chat and talked about what was worrying him and what he thought might be making him feel depressed. Talked about different strategies to help to feel better and to not feel so depressed and so low.
So yeah, when Jack told me he was a bit depressed last year, I was obviously sad to hear that. It's quite a tough thing to hear from your child. Obviously, my mum suffered quite badly with depression, so kind of used to it, and it's a horrible thing to go through. So just hope in the future, if it happens again, that you'll come talk to us and just, make sure you're all right. So yeah, hopefully the running and all the exercise and stuff is helping, and yeah, hopefully you're feeling a bit better, and hopefully you will not have it again.
Yes.
And I tried to support him with being able to talk and express himself and to show how he was feeling.
Okay, so Jack is really close to doing his marathon now. I'm super nervous for him, but I'm so excited for him. He's been waiting for this for so long, training so hard, and I think we all know that you're going to smash it.
So now we're a week away from the run. I have no doubt that he's going to be able to complete 26 miles. He's done all the preps, he's done all his programs. He's proved me wrong, because I originally thought he couldn't do it. And he's done all he's eaten well, he's stuck to his diet plan, and he's done all his ice baths, and he's put in the work when no one was watching, and that's when it counts. And yeah, I think he's going to do it, and I'm glad he's giving the money to a Mind charity. I think that's a really good thing. It's a good cause, especially with what's going on this year. It's a very good cause.
My thoughts after seeing all the training, because the last thing he did was a 20-mile run before the marathon, and he completed the 20-mile run, so I think he will make the marathon. Because if he did 20 miles, then I'm pretty sure he will push to do the other 6 miles, and he will be very disappointed if he doesn't. So I think he'll think about that if he thinks he can't go on, and then that will make him go on. So I think he will make it.
In the run up to Jack's marathon, we know he's been working so hard to get his goal and to do this marathon, and hopefully in a fantastic time.
So we know he's going to get the outcome he wants.
Yeah, because he's put so much effort in and he's just tried so hard, so he deserves it.
Right before Jack did his marathon, I was worried, and I was also really hopeful. I wanted it to go the best it could do for him because of how much work he'd put in, and I'd seen through his training, and I knew he'd done all the right stuff to train for it, but I was just worried that he hadn't given himself enough time to do all that training in to increase his mileage and then gradually decrease it, because he only had, I think it was a week. One weekend he did 20 miles and then the next he did the marathon, and I was really worried that he hadn't had the time to recover from that 20 miles and even though with all his recovery work he was doing, I was worried that he could struggle because of all the mileage he had done before, but he just proved everyone wrong, and I think people were so proud of him, and for the cause that he did it for, Mind, I think was so amazing, and he, I think, tripled what he had his target for, and I just think it's incredible what he did, and I'm so proud of him, and hopefully maybe in the future he might do an organised event and we can all go and watch properly rather than being in this current situation that we're in, and yeah, we can go cheer him on properly. But yeah, I'm so proud of him and everything that he's doing.
And a marathon is like life, I guess. A lot of pain, but once you get through the pain, then you have a good time, really. So I feel like now he can go through anything and nothing's going to stop him.
So I've been up for a little while now. I got up at 7. I've had breakfast and I'm now waiting for a little while for everyone else to get up around the house before I start making some more noise. I feel pretty good, but I could be feeling worse, to be fair. I'm really excited, but a little bit nervous. That's to be expected though. But yeah, I keep telling myself I have nothing to worry about because it's not a race. There's no pacing I need to stick to. Although I'm going to try and stick to a reasonably fast pace and see what I can do. But that's nothing I haven't done in training. I've put in the work and I'm going to get the result today, hopefully. But we'll see how it goes. It's so cold outside already, I can tell, because I'm so cold. Yeah, but we should be good. The only problem is I'm going to have to wear so many layers just to keep warm. But we'll see how it goes. It should be fine. And yeah, I'm excited to see what I can do. It's the marathon morning and I'm going to watch. I've got a few things to watch from people that they've sent in to just keep me going, I guess, inspire me and motivate me. So we're going to watch them now.
Hi Jack, just wanted to come on and say good luck for today. It's finally here, and after like so little training, I'm so proud. Like, I think it's incredible what you're doing and what charity and causes you're doing it for, and I just, yeah, the best of luck. I know you're going to do so well, and even if it does get hard, I know because of how motivated you are, you're just going to keep going. And even if you have to walk, just like keep going. And yeah, it's such a shame that we can't all come and watch properly because of the current situation in the world, but I know you're going to do so well, and good luck. Yeah.
Oh mate, you like the hat? Whee! Well, today's the day that you're going to run a marathon. You're going to absolutely smash it, and I'm with you for every step of the way. Good luck.
Hi Jack, so today's the big day. I want to wish you the best of luck. I know that you're going to smash it because honestly, I think out of all of us, you're the only one who would have stuck to the training as much as you have. I remember Wednesday afternoon in one of our game sessions, I asked to see your training sheet thing, and you showed me, and I thought, how on earth is this boy going to do this in such a short amount of time? But I think you've certainly proved anyone who thought that you couldn't wrong. You've been amazing. Like, seeing you do your 20-mile run the other day, I was like, what? I certainly wouldn't have done that. So yeah, I want to wish you the best of luck, and honestly, you couldn't be doing it for a better charity. I think especially this year, so many people, and I know people close to you, have been affected with bad mental health down to the pandemic, and yeah, I want to wish you the best of luck. I know that you've got this, so yeah, go out and do your thing. Good luck, Jack.
So, it is the night before the big event. when you see this, it'll probably be a couple minutes before, and me and you will both be ready to go for 26 miles of pain. You running, me on my bike. I'll find it a bit more easy, I reckon. But yeah, like, you can do this. This is a final hurdle. Look how far you've come already. Like, as a person before this, like, you've been through so much and helped me through a lot as well. So I just wanted to say thank you. And then a running point of view as well, like, you've come a very long way, and this is just the last hurdle. Like, obviously after this, I'm sure you'll carry on with your running, but this is a very big achievement. And when you told me about doing a marathon before the new year, bearing in mind you told me this in November, I knew when you set a goal, you always complete your goal. Some people had doubts, but I knew that you'd complete it. And hopefully tomorrow will be the day that you get it done. So yeah, let's do this.
Best of luck, Jack. You're going to do amazing. And we're all so, so proud of you as well. So yeah, just go out there and smash it.
Anything. We just wanted to say a really, really big well done to Jack, because we know how hard it's been for him to actually get there and do this, especially with COVID and everything.
Just to keep motivated throughout this pandemic has been literally impossible.
So we just really just wanted to say a big well done to Jack, because he really deserves all the praise he gets, because this is a hard task and he's done amazingly. So well done.
Well done, Jack.
Legends. There's no better way to feel after watching that. It's just the amount of support I've had on this journey from everyone I've told. It's been incredible, and the amount of people who've donated, who I didn't think would even like notice it, the amount of people who've wished me good luck and things like that, it's just incredible to see. And it does show how much I think mental health does affect everyone, because you can have these problems, and the more they resonate with you, the more you feel for it. And that's why I think doing it for Mind is such a good cause, because so many people this year especially have been affected by mind like mental problems, and that's why the Mind charity is such a good charity to do it for, because it's so heartfelt by the majority of people.
Remember back in the day when you taught me to live and I taught you to pray. We went in the battle together, no matter the weather, we never delayed. You gave me commands, I always obeyed. I never let you go astray. I never thought I'd see the day that you would come and just betray me. Sick of playing silly games, you never loved me anyway. You should not have let me get away, cause now I'm hunting for my prey. I'm bigger, I'm better, my mind is a weapon. I won't ever let up. You try to break me down and I'ma just get up. They ask me how I did it, I'ma just tell them I rose up. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger. I will arise. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life. Coming back stronger. I will arise. Staring at you from afar, analyzing every scar. Asking myself how we got here. Remember, this is who we are. I am not here for revenge. I did not come to make amends. Not here to repent for my sins. I just came here to win. I just came here to end. I just came here to fight. Show you everything you said I couldn't be. I became overnight. This for the blood, this is for the tears. This is for my pain and my plight. Two walked in, but only one of us is walking out of here tonight. I'm a survivor. For my life, coming back stronger. I will arise. I'm a survivor. Fight for my life, coming back stronger. I will arise.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
So right at the start of training, before I'd even made the training plan, I googled what time can I get for a marathon based on my 5k time of 17:41, and the time it gave me was 3:19. So that was kind of the target pace for all of the workouts, but everyone said just because you're doing it in such a short training period, it should be 16 weeks at least, and I was doing it in 7.5 weeks. Everyone said just don't worry about the time, just go out and enjoy it, and just raise the money and the awareness for Mind Mental Health charity, which was kind of the plan, but I always wanted to push myself as well. So I wanted to aim for I set the goal of a sub 3:30 marathon, which I worked out was keeping each kilometre under 5 minutes for the actual thing. So that's what I tried to do. And then on the actual thing, that's what we were doing. We were hitting good splits, and then I just kept it how it felt comfortable, under 5 minutes, and conveniently we managed to get the last few kilometres a lot faster as I was nearing the end, which was quite good, and the average pace was actually 4:44 per kilometre without me even trying to hit 4:44. I was just trying to hit sub 5, so that gave me a finished time of 3:19.23, which I was really happy with because that was the target time from the very start, and it couldn't have gone much better really.